Hey guys, we're super excited to be here at the LA Fit Expo. It's our third year in a row. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be launching a tasty pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs. And we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary's Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and this is the Laryngitis Show, Part 3. Today is Tuesday, May 4th, 2021, and let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. I'm sure some of you out there have heard your parents say, "You do as I say, not as I do." I tell my kids that all the time. And you probably heard that when you were growing up like I did, but here's the thing about that. If Phil Heath was your dad, wouldn't it almost seem hypocritical to not try to imitate a 7-time Mr. Olympia champ who's supposed to be your role model and mentor in life? Well, last week, Phil released 2 new arm training clips on his Instagram that probably had all sorts of people running into the gym trying to do exactly what he did. And you know what they say, imitation is the best form of flattery. And since most bodybuilders love to behave like children, arguing on social media, constantly bickering back and forth about nothing, and never listening to the adults in the room, well, it's hard not to tell anyone to do as he does because it's worked out pretty well for him so far. On the rare offhanded chance that you're one of the real bodybuilding psychos who've been counting down the days on your calendar until the International Cup of Poland Pro Qualifier next month, well, congratulations. This is your lucky day. And you should thank Emir Omeragic for it, because the updates we've been seeing coming out of his camp are too good not to share. People close to Amir tell me that he's sitting somewhere in the neighborhood of 260 pounds right now, and that he's already in the best shape of his life with more than 2 weeks left to go before it's showtime. Now that's a good sign. Amir is one of the few international athletes on the amateur scene who's managed to get himself on everyone's radar this year. So if he does end up closing the deal, I'm sure there will be plenty of fans out there who would love to see him go the Peter Molyneux route by diving headfirst right into his IFBB Pro debut. On one of our shows last week, we talked about some of the athletes in this year's rookie class that people are excited about. But one of the names in this year's rookie class that we haven't mentioned in a while is Mo Foda. According to reports, the former IFBB Amateur Olympia champ is finally planning to make his pro debut this year after taking off all of last year from competing to focus on fixing some of his weaknesses. When he turned pro a few years ago, there were a lot of people who saw Mo as someone who could be a major star in the IFBB Pro League one day. So if he has taken care of business over the last year or so and fixed those small items, well, a few months from now, we should all find out if Mo will fulfill some of that promise we've all been waiting on. And finally, I want to close out today's show by leaving you guys with a philosophical question. Do you think that Nathan the Asha should get a special invite to the Olympia this year? Well, Nathan's struggles outside the gym have been well documented this year. And to a certain degree, I think that's played a big part in his decision to just focus on training and not put any energy into planning out a whole contest prep. But on the flip side, because he's had to deal with so much BS, I think you can make a good argument that extending a special invite for this year's contest makes a lot of sense, because it gives him a buffer in case he has to deal with any more extenuating circumstances. Translated, the UK police department shutting down his gym. Now, not to mention the fact that we saw this happen last year when people were trying to figure out how to deal with the COVID craziness. So this is not really unprecedented. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure how I feel about this yet either. So I'm just throwing it out there. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning and the Laryngitis Show. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.